粥点传师、甜点传师、菜点传师各位前贤，大家好，阿弥。今仔暗咱原就是咱的陈讲师陈叶云讲师咧，甲咱继续持续讲解圣经内容的意思。Master John, Master Tian, Master Chai, and to all Tao members, good evening. Tonight, with the compassion of our lecturer Chen, she will continue to explain the content of the Heart Sutra. 咱顺着来邀请咱的陈讲师甲咱慈悲示导。Now let us invite our lecturer Chen for her compassionate guidance.
各位典传师、各位堂主、各位前贤大德，邀客今仔日受到天恩师弟甲典传师，互我有这个机会，咱搁再继续来讲解心经。今日是第4摆。
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to all the Tianchuansi and to all the shrine owners and to everybody who are here tonight. Thank you to Heaven's Grace and to Teacher's Virtue, and thank you also to our Master for giving me tonight this chance to discuss with us, everybody, the part 4 of the Heart Sutra.
顶礼拜为顶礼拜讲的这个舍利子，色不离空，空不离色，这个才开始，一直到咱规本心经的上线尾，总是观世音菩萨伫个灵山法会中回答着舍利子伊所提出的问题，讲的道理，而且迄当时。释迦牟尼佛也在场，可见讲这本圣经是非常的慎重谨慎。
Okay, from our last discussion, which started from the part that says, Shariputra, the material form is no different from the void of the shapeless emptiness, and the void is no different from the material form. Up to the end of the whole sutra, those were all replies of Bodhisattva Quan Zai in answering the questions about the truth raised by Shariputra at the Lingsan Holy Meeting, and at that time, Buddha Shakyamuni was also present, which shows that it is very prudent to speak of this Heart Sutra, and when speaking about it, one should be very, very cautious.
因为心经是伫个为这个五蕴18界、12因缘、四圣谛、甲六波罗蜜，个顶头拢加一个空，要无就是加一个无哩。
Because the Heart Sutra talks about the 5 aggregates, the 18 realms of senses, the 12 links of interdependent existence, the 4 noble truths, and the 6 paramita, and of which in Heart Sutra, it all added the word void or none before these terms.
咱摕实际来讲讲五蕴内底伊所讲的是色即是空，空即是色，伊有一个空理。咧18界内底呢，18界是眼耳鼻舌身意是身风味触法，安尼拢总加起来有18个，但是伊咧18界进前拢嘛加一个无哩，就是无眼耳鼻舌身意，一直到18界总讲完。咧12因缘内底呢，12因缘是无明行识。名色六入触受，伊咧这个无明12因缘的头一个无明里，伊也是加一个无，四圣谛是苦集灭道，为咧苦集灭道进前也是加一个无。那波罗蜜呢？波罗蜜是干那以一个智慧的智，来代替着波罗蜜。 所以伊讲无地，就是无这个波罗蜜，是无地，就波罗蜜就是想讲要得到这个阿耨多罗三藐三菩提，但是呢，伊嘛是加一个无，不但无地，但是嘛是拢无得到就对啦。
So, as it was mentioned a while ago, in the 5 aggregates, it says that material form is same as void, while void is same as material form. And in the 18 realms of senses, it adds also a word none, which means there is no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body and mind. In the 12 links of interdependent origin, it mentioned also, added also the word no before the terms, which start with no, ignorance, and so on. In the 4 noble truths, it says no suffering, and so on. And in the 6 paramitas, or the 6 perfections, it also added a word no or none, which says there's no wisdom and no attainment. So all of these were added a word no or none into it.
而且呢，这个道理拢总是释迦牟尼佛讲嘅道理。这个道理呢，是咧教咱这世俗嘅众生一步一步安怎来修持，一步一步来进步。
And these principles are all the truth taught by Buddha Shakyamuni, and they teach sentient beings to practice the cultivation of truth step by step.
那安尼看来呢，好亲像观世音菩萨讲的，甲释迦牟尼佛所讲的道理安怎无相同咯？其实呢，观世音菩萨是伫咧强调啦，咧强调讲，不管咱若是修持到倒一个境界，无论即个境界修持了偌好偌悬，咱拢袂用固执伫遐，袂用执着，因为咱要转到理天的国家乡还阁有一坎就对啦，还阁有一坎要等咱去放下，帮咱去放下这修行的境界，这修行的境界，无论咱修甲更较好，嘛是爱甲放下。安尼咱才有法度搁再向上前进。所以呢，有人讲心经是观世音菩萨，伊承受着佛祖的神威，伊的这个威严，有在场的这个威严，才讲的也就是讲有佛祖在场，无人敢反对观世音菩萨所讲的道理。
This seems to be different from what Buddha Shakyamuni was teaching. But in fact, Bodhisattva Kwanzizai is emphasizing that no matter which state we have reached in our cultivation, no matter how well we have practiced, one should not have attachments. Because in order for us to be able to go back to the hometown in Litian or the supreme heaven, there is still the last step waiting for us to take, which is to let go of these spiritual realms before we can go a step higher up again. So some people may say that Heart Sutra was taught by Bodhisattva Kwanzizai through the divine power of the Buddha, and that no one can refute it because it was said in the presence of Buddha.
咱今日就刷落去顶回所讲的不生不灭，不垢不净，不增不减，搁后壁就是是故空中无色，无受想行识。
So we will now continue from where we left during our last meeting. Let us start from this part. Therefore, there is no material form in the void, and there is no sensation, no perception, and no consciousness. Therefore, there is no material form in the void.
咱即摆来解说讲，视觉空中无色诶，即个色咧，就是普遍的咧讲，所有一切会缀着时间呐，时间的经过，会变歹的即个物质，也是即个现象，因为诸法的实相为空相，所以呢，在空中自然也无物质现象。
So we will now start with the discussion of Se, which is material form. It generally refers to all the matters and phenomena that will deteriorate over time. Because the reality of all the matter is in a void phase. Therefore, there is naturally no physical manifestation in the void phase.
无受想形式，因为即个是咧讲即个五蕴嘛，色受想形式，所以无色，嘛后壁遮空中嘛无遮个受想形式。
There is no sensation, no perception, and no consciousness. There is no sense of feeling, no sense of thinking, and no sense of consciousness in the void of the shapeless emptiness.
即两句呢，是伫咧总结所讲五蕴拢是空的，拢是空，即个种种的即个道理。既然一切法拢是真空实相，无生灭，也无顶回讲的没有生灭，没有构境，没有增减，完全是空的，无甲一时时一点点的烦恼来抓背，来阻碍，安尼呢，咱自性的真空体体呢，就会当显露出一片的清净光明。
These two sentences are summary explanations that the five aggregates are all the truth of the void of shapeless emptiness. Since all objects are a reality of the void of the shapeless emptiness, where there is no beginning and no ending, no increase or decrease, and it is completely void, there is not a bit of worry which can cover or hinder. Then the void of the true nature will naturally reveal its purity and brightness.
拄则迄是咧讲五蕴，即马过来就是咧讲18界，无眼耳鼻舌身，无色声香味触法，无眼界，乃至无意识界。即个就是18界诶进前搁甲加一个无理。
So a while ago we were talking about the Wu Yun, or the five aggregates, and now we will start with the 18 realms of senses. No eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. No form, sound, scent, and touch. Without vision, or even there is no consciousness. So all the terms has a word none, no or none added before it.
来，眼耳鼻舌身意，伊是叫做六根，是咱人伫咧生理上嘅活动。
So the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, body, and mind are called the six roots, or the six sense organs, which are our physical activities.
色声香味触法，叫做六尘，是咱人伫咧心理心内心理范围嘅活动。
Sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and feeling are called the six senses, or the six sensory pleasures, which is our mental activity.
六根甲六尘合起来呢，叫做12粒哦，包括咱人生理哦，就是咱身躯上的啦吼，甲心理上一切的活动。
The 6 roots and the 6 senses are then collectively called the 12 entrances, and which includes all the physical and psychological activities.
这12粒呢，又搁甲六识合起来，叫做18界。
And the 6 entrances or and the 12 entrances or the 12 realms of phenomena and the 6 consciousness are collectively called the 18 realms of phenomena.
过来就是这个18界啊，这个识，这个意识的识界讲无眼界乃至无意识界无眼界是眼界是18界的头一界伊照顺序排来叫做无眼界、无耳界、无鼻界、无舌界、无身界、无意识界。
So next is the no eyes up to the last part of the sentence, no realm of consciousness. No eye realm. The eye realm is the first element of the 18 realms, followed by the no ear realm, no nose realm, no tongue realm, no body realm, and no unconscious realm.
六根是眼耳鼻舌身意，六尘是色声香味触法。六根对着六尘所产生的六识，六识，安尼合起来叫做18界。
So the 6 roots or the 6 sense organs are the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. While the 6 senses are the sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and feeling. The 6 senses arising from the 6 sensory organs, which results to the 6 consciousness, are collectively called the 18 realms of phenomena.
六识，眼识就是目睭看到外口的物件，伊所产生的作用叫做眼识。耳仔听到外口的声音，伊所产生的作用叫做耳识。咱的鼻仔，伊闻到外口的芳臭的味，所产生的作用叫做鼻识。咱的喙齿有食到物件，会食到物件有闻到伊的味啦，伊所产生的作用叫做舌识，咱的心，咱的意识心看到头前这的所，这的色声香味触法，这伊所有的感想，伊会产生，会叫做法，伊称呼叫做意识。
So the 6 consciousness, the eye consciousness is everything that is seen by the eye, and it will create reactions towards what we have seen, and it is then the eye consciousness. From the ear consciousness, from what we heard by our ears, music or noise, it will also create reaction. From the nose consciousness, it is everything that is smelled by our nose, and it will also create a reaction. The tongue consciousness is anything tasted by our tongue. It will also create a reaction towards what we have tasted. And body consciousness also, it is what our body has touched. We can create reactions to either to know whether it is smooth or rough. The mind reaction is the combination of all the 5 reactions, and that will go to the mind, and it will create a reaction in the mind.
所以讲，咱人咧，活着的时阵， 目睭所看到有形有色嘅物件，就會產生着眼色。即個我再講一遍，有產生眼色嘅作用。
When we humans are still alive, when our eyes see tangible and colorful things, we will create reaction towards what we have seen. So it is our eye consciousness.
因為咱有看到，像拄仔講有慧眼色，產生着作用。這個作用產生到了後呢，喺你嘅心肝內，佫產生一個感情，這個感情就是愛，還是無愛，還是恨，這個那安尼咯，就去了產生着分別嘅心，產生着愛甲恨嘅貪念。你先到這小川。
So from what we have seen by our eye, from what we have smelled by our nose, all these sins will be recalled. Everything that has passed will create memory, and a sense of discrimination will arise from it. And a desire for love and hatred will also arise.
然後呢，咱這所分別出來的這個念頭呢，會經過着咱的第七識，即今日才頭一擺講的這個第七識就是固執，固執講是叫做我的，這就產生着我執，然後了後呢，伊會傳達啦，伊會傳到咱的第八意識內底，如此呢，那安尼呢，咱就證着因果的經濟，就是後擺咱後出世，會閣再來出世，這個因果的經濟。如果咱若是知影這個過程的，咱應該就愛馬上就甲伊斬斷，無閣互這個念頭產生，唔通閣再做惡業，才袂遭受到報應的這個苦果。
So because of all that we have experienced, all these memories in the past will then be grasped by our seventh consciousness, and it will become our ego. And then all those will be transmitted to the eighth consciousness. The eighth consciousness is the basis of instigator of our mental activity. It is where we plant our karmic seed, and so is called the storehouse consciousness. In this way, the seed of the cause of and effect are planted. If we know this process, we should act decisively. Do not continue to do evil deeds, which will cause evil karma, so as not to suffer the consequence of retribution.
佫其他的五種的根，就是眼、耳、鼻、舌、身、意嘅，五種拄仔是敢若講色咧，甲五種的田色、聲、香、味、觸、法，伊所產生的五識的道理，也是三重。如果咱若是修行佛法，咱若修佛法，知影這18界的現象，攏敢若是因緣所生的這個假象，因為有因緣才會產生，因緣若散去了後，伊會閣變無去，所以伊叫做本來就是空，咱若知影本來就是空，就自然袂閣產生着這個分別甲執着，因為分別執着咱的造業，所以咱若當下咱就應該進入真空實境裡解脫自在。
So the principle of the five consciousness produced by the five other roots are the same also. If we practice Buddha Dharma and know that the phenomena of the 18 realms are only false appearances arising from the law of mutual causalation of all actions, we will realize that it is all inherently void. In other words, we will not have attachments to create karma and can enter the absolute void from the perspective of reality and gain freedom from them.
咱以上讲的18戒，甲顶礼拜所讲的这个五蕴皆空的这个道理，这五蕴拢是释迦牟尼佛咧讲互咱世俗的凡人，咱世俗的人，甲天人，就是天顶的圣贤所讲的道理。
The above 18 realms of phenomena and the 5 aggregates were all mentioned last week. They were all empty and void. And those were all teachings said by Buddha for the mortals and the heavenly beings.
即摆讲来讲12因缘，12因缘是无明形色六入触受但是呢，伊伫个无明进前呢，我甲加一个无哩，这是观世音菩萨讲的无无明色，无无明尽，乃至无老死，无老死尽。
So we will start with the 12 links of dependent origin. From the 12 links, which starts from ignorance to its ending, to old age and to death and their ending.
无明在你的心境这搭呢，是代表着12因缘，唔是单单伫咧讲无明12因缘又可称为是原觉性，也就是佛教内底讲的这个中性法，中性伊的修行的法度。12因缘嘛是五蕴伊所涵盖的这个范围五蕴既然是空，那安尼呢12因缘嘛是空。
So we will start with ignorance. It says here that Ming is being enlightened. When person is not enlightened, it is ignorance. So ignorance in the Heart Sutra represents the 12 links of interdependent origination, and not just simply referring to ignorance alone. The 12 links is the practice method of the Yuan Jue Sheng, which is also the cultivation method of Zhong Sheng. Yuan Jue Sheng is middle conveyance period, that is the middle vehicle to nirvana, Zhong Sheng. When 12 links are within the scope of the 5 aggregates, since they are within the scope of the 5 aggregates, when the 5 aggregates are void, then the 12 links must also be void.
伊即句呢，也是一个简性的写法啦，讲无无明是无无明尽，乃至无老死是无老死尽。伊即句伊较完整的写法应该是无无明、无形、无色、无名色、无六入、无触、无受、无爱、无处、无有。无生无老死。
So the statement written in the Heart Sutra were written in a shortened form. The complete statement of this sentence is no ignorance, no action, no consciousness, no mind and form, no 6 senses, no contact, no feeling, no desire, no taking, no existence of karma, no birth, no old age and death.
无明是佛祖代表佛祖所讲的12因缘，也就是这12个即无明、形、色、名色、六入、触、受、爱、处、 有生老死。咱来了解观世音菩萨讲12因缘法也是空。咱就要先了解12因缘到底是啥物。所以咱会简单介绍12因缘。
So here, ignorance refers to the 12 links of interdependent origination, which the Buddha said are ignorance, action, consciousness, mind and form, the 6 senses, touch, feeling, desire, claim, or to be attached, existence of karma, birth, old age, and death. In order for us to understand when the Bodhisattva I-Kuan said that the 12 links are also void, then we must first understand what these 12 links are.
头一个无明，就是无明白真理。因为无明白真理，所以咱才会去产生着分别讲这个好，这个歹，这我介，这个我无介。若是安尼呢，咱就袂失着咱的佛性，袂失着佛性呢，就会产生着妄想执着，这个就是烦恼的根本。
So number one here is, number one of the 12 links is ignorance. If one do not understand the truth, there will be discrimination and comparison. So we will compare and say something is good while the other thing is bad. We will say there are things that we like and there are things that we do not like, which means we will lose the Buddha nature and will cause delusion and attachment. And it is the root of all worries.
咱每一个人拢有一个本来就具足，而且呢清净光明的佛性。这个佛性，甲释迦牟尼佛、甲耶稣、甲观世音菩萨拢同款。都是敢若因为这个咱的佛性，去互妄想执着，甲咱扎藏的，甲咱抓白，必须要着咱的良知良能，无法度通发挥出来。
So each and every one of us has a self-sufficient, pure and glorious Buddha nature within us. This Buddha nature is the same as the true nature of Buddha Shakyamuni, as that of Jesus Christ, and that of Bodhisattva I-Kuan. It is only because this Buddha nature of ours is already obscured by our delusion and attachment. That is why our real conscience and innate intelligence and ability can no longer be exerted.
咱拄则所讲的这个妄想执着，就是叫做无明。无明在佛法因果定律，这因果定律，就是伊就是叫做头一个因啦，因果因头一个因，也就是咱众生拢是因为这个无明，才来对咯，伫个生死流转，伫踮咧六道轮回，生死流转，就是讲，敢若咧生因苦啊啦，生死一直轮安尼啦，轮袂出去的这个意思，这个叫做生死流转，咧这个中间的也产生着六道轮回。
So this delusional attachment is called ignorance. Ignorance is regarded as the first cause in the law of cause and effect in Buddha Dharma, which means that the reason why all sentient beings have fallen into the cycle of life and death and are in the 6 realms of rebirth is all because of ignorance, that we keep on going in circle and circle without knowing which way to go get out of it.
形是咱的身躯，甲咱的喙，甲咱的心肝，甲咱的心的这个活动哦。因为这个活动呢，是产生了咱的心念哦，啊，甲咱的这个语言，啊，甲咱的这个行动，拢总是叫做形。啊，因为形才做下着善业甲恶业哦。这个善业恶业若做了后呢，就决定了咱六道轮回内底，咱要去倒一道出世。
Next, number 2 is mental formation. The activities of our heart, mouth, and mind, which produce thoughts, words, and actions are all mental formations. Because of these actions, it may cause good karma or evil karma, which will also determine our whereabouts in the 6 realms.
第三识知识的识就是咧讲咱的第八识咱第八识呢，又个叫做藏识伊有含藏就是物件甲藏起来藏什么呢？伊所藏的，就是因为咱顶回拄则讲的这个形咱伫个过去世所造作的这个业力的种子，也就是讲咱过去咱过去世，咱还未出世之前过去世咱有做这善恶的这个代志这个代志呢，过去了后呢，伊会藏起来，咱袂记得着，但是咱的心、咱的意识，伊会记得，伊藏起来这个就是第八意识，毋再讲含藏，伊藏起来第八意识呢，就是咱生死流转的根本，就是咱要来搁再出世，生甲死一直轮回的这个根本依照着过去世咱所做的业嚟成就呢，就变咱这世人呢来受胎的一个念头。咱这世人会来互妈妈甲咱带身受胎啦，妈妈甲咱带身的一个念头。
So, consciousness refers to our 8th consciousness, also known as the hidden consciousness, which has the meaning of a storage. It will store all what we have done in our previous lives. So, the 8th consciousness is the foundation of our cycle of life and death in accordance with the karma of our past life. And it will also cause us to be born into the present life.
第四叫做明识，明是咧讲咱的心，咱这个空思妄想的这个心伫个咱第八意识调的这个心识是咧讲咱的形体咪久呢，咱拄互妈妈带身的时阵呢，迄是一个迄个受精卵一个受精卵咱的灵魂呢，在这个时阵有一部分入来了有入来在这个受精卵再来坐胎因为呢，这才打坐胎尔嘛，才敢若迄做着床成功尔嘛都连头壳都还未生出来所以莫讲头壳骹手，莫讲骹手啦连迄个六根、连眼、耳、鼻、舌、身身躯的身甲意，连这个六根都还未生出来因为呢，形体咱的人的这个形体还未生成，未做咧讲叫做身，未用讲身，所以这个时阵呢， 虽然一个是一个受精卵，已经代表讲一定会来，这个会大汉起来嘛吼，所以才以这个色吼嘛是有的物件嘛，色就是有的物件，所以称呼叫做名甲色，也就是讲心吼，甲咱后摆啊这个大汉起来的这个受精卵叫做色吼，所以才叫做名色吼。这个就是咧讲，咱伫个老母的腹肚内吼，咱的这个心甲身躯呢，豆，伊的发育的这个过程，袂做你讲身躯吼，咱呢皮实还袂生出来，袂出咧讲身躯，所以才讲叫做名色。咱伫这个中间，伊的豆，搁再大汉起来。
The number 4 is mind and form. Mind is the delusion. It is intangible, while form is the physique. It is tangible. All beings have a spiritual conception before the 6 senses or the 6 roots are born. Because the body has not yet been formed during this time, it cannot be called the body. So it is called mind and form. It is the period when the body and mind is gradually developing within the fetus inside the mother's womb.
六入个第5项，叫做六入。啊，这个时阵呢，咱这个受精卵呢，豆就大。啊，大胃道先大生呢，就是为咱现管这个所在，吼，开始大，开始扩充，所以毋则讲吼，咱人是胃道才先生出来，讲胃片小就生出来，因为片尖片的顶头这点咧，都是咱的现管嘛，安尼才豆，整个内底才目睭、耳孔啊、鼻、喙舌，甲来呢，豆身躯总完整了，甲咱的心，咱会空思梦想的这个心呢，安尼斗起来，叫做六根，这个时阵呢，六根若具足咯，六根若拢生甲完整咯，就是准备即要出胎，就是准备即要出世咯，离开妈妈的子宫咯，就是要出世啊。
Next is Yoru, or the 6 entrances. The 6 organs are the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. During this time, the fetus starts to grow within the womb of the mother, and it starts to grow at the point of our holy door. That is when these 6 organs are already developed, then that is the time when the mother is already going to give birth to the baby.
过来第6项叫做触，就是接触，接触，有这个触觉的这个意思呢，因为咱六根拄着六尘触咧，就是会产生着触，因为咱咧妈妈腹肚内呢，已经六根呢，这个六根呢，已经完整咯，已经成长甲完整咯，甲完整的规身躯嘛拢有啊，骹手什么拢有咯，这个时阵就是要离开妈妈的子宫，经过着产道，来产道咱才出世，出世的时阵呢，哇一声，触就是为迄搭开始，甲哇一声了后呢，开始咱家己呼吸，开始咱家己眼耳鼻舌，来接受着外口的空气，这个开始接触，所以触是为拄咱出世迄个时阵，到甲2、3岁中间，因为也毋知影什么叫做痛苦，什么 迄个时阵也毋知影什么叫做艰苦的感觉，是敢若出世迄个时阵呢，真艰苦，真艰苦。咱人出世的时阵拢会哭嘛，迄个时阵呢，本来咧妈妈子宫内底真安全，即摆离开妈妈的子宫咯，家己爱呼吸，什么拢爱家己咯。迄个时阵，听讲非常非常的痛苦，迄就是伊即个时阵一直到2、3岁中间，虽然出世家己毋知影痛苦，迄是到2、3岁中间即个阶段。
Number 6 is 2, touch. It refers to the sense of contact and touch. When the 6 organs or the 6 roots encounters with the 6 senses, it will naturally produce contact. When the baby is born and started contact with the outside world, it will start to contact with oxygen and different things in this world. It will feel pain. When the baby is born, it gets contact with the air and it will start to cry. Aside from that, from the moment when the baby leaves the uterus of the mother until the age of 2 or 3, the feeling of suffering is not yet understood at this stage.
出来第7，或者12因缘的第7项，叫做受。这个受是有接受甲感受的一切，咱人生的一切的苦、快乐的感受，拢总叫做受。这个受会享有这个受，就差不多4、5岁，迄个时阵，甲14、15岁，这个时阵，就知影什么叫做好，什么叫做歹，什么叫做快乐，什么叫做艰苦。就是到14、15岁这个中间。
Number 7, so or sensation. It includes acceptance, feelings, and all the feelings of life's pain and joy are considered sensations. This is felt and understood between the age of 4 to 15 years old.
第8项叫做爱。14岁了后，咱就拢会晓啊嘛。迄个时阵叫做半大人囡仔。豆豆会晓了后，咱所看到的物件，咱会一个真强的这个爱，还是真强的这个无爱，这款的欲念都会生出来。这是14岁了后，咱人生的一切，咱拢会去拄到，就是看到物件就要爱，这个叫做爱。
Number 8, I, or desire or love. At the age of 14, this starts with the adolescent period of a person. All kinds of strong desires will arise during this period.
第9项叫做处，咱因为看到物件就爱，咱若有这个爱呢，就是要甲伊占有，就是要去摕的这个意念伫个咯，爱了就是要去处这个意念，在咱人的人生内底呢，对钱财、对名甲利、对权利，甲身份、权利，贵是身份权啦，权是权利，贵是身份权，甲美色、水的物件、水的人，甲这个物质呢，咱所产生的这个贪的心，都想要去处，这个就叫做处。
Number 9 is take or claim. It is to hold on to what we wanted or to be attached to something that we like or love. The idea of possession and attachment is born out of love of something. And in our lives, we are concerned with the greed of wealth, fame, power, beauty, or any other material things. All these are claim or take.
第10叫做有，就是有啦， 有呢，是因为第8项的爱，甲第9项的处，伊所产生的即个烦恼，因为即个咱爱的物件，咱来去处，无一定互咱处物件嘛。咱无的物件，咱想无爱伫，伊嘛会来。甲咱若有缘，有歹的缘，伊也是会来。伫即个中间咱就做出了种种的即个业，即个业也有善业，也有恶业，咱若做出即个业了后呢，就决定讲后世人一定会搁再来出世，一定会搁再来受生的即个果，即个结果就对啦。即个结果也就是讲，咱因为爱处了后，即个有，就是因为爱处才来产生着讲后世人会搁再来出世的即个果。
Number 10 is existence of karma. Because of the worries arising from number 8 and 9, which is love and claim, we want to own what we love, but we are not assured that things that we love, we can take them. But sometimes things that we do not like, we will own them. So from there, all kinds of karma are planted and will determine the fruit or retribution in our next life.
第11项叫做生，因为咱即马所造成的即个业力，才有就是讲已经是决定了后世人会搁再来出世，安尼咯轮回，咱还未死吧？但是轮回后世人会搁再来轮回，即个轮回呢已经造成了，而且呢，咱咧六道天道天道、人道六道就是即个六道轮回内底受生呢，而且即个生即个生伊的定律呢，伊即个原因啦，即个定律完全都是就是按照过去所做的业，也就是讲过去所做的业，造成即世人咱的即个身躯，咱的即个人生。咱即马即世人所做的业，自然嘛会结成后世人搁再来出世的即个果。
Number 11 is birth. Being born in the 6 realms because of the existence of the current karma, it causes the cycle of life and death. The law of this birth is based on the karma created in the past. What we have done in the past causes us to be born and causes what we are or what we will have or will encounter during this lifetime. And the karma that we are creating during this lifetime will naturally again result to retribution in our next life.
12因缘呢，伊有包括了3世，3世3世人，就是咱的前一世，甲咱即马即世，搁来咱的后死了，搁再出去即个后一世，所以实际上呢，是有2重的因果，2重的因果，所以再讲叫做12因缘是叫做3世因果。
So the 12 links of interdependent origin includes 3 lifetimes. What we have done in the previous life will cause what we have during this life, and what we are doing during this lifetime will cause our next life. So the 12 links of dependent origination includes the 3 lives before and after, and it is actually the actual double cause and effect.
咱即马来讲过去， 咱过去前世人所做的因，所造成的因，就是无明。因为前世人咱无明白着真理，所以咱才会迷惑。因为迷惑，才来行，就是开始作业咯，有行动。因为咱的身躯、喙、甲心所造成的这个业力，这是过去世的这个这世人这个因，咱这世人这个身躯这个因，就是过去的这个果啦，就是过去世因，就是无明甲行。
So now we will talk about the cause. The cause made in the previous life, they are all results of the ignorance in the previous life. Confusion caused by ignorance, then karma is caused also by action and mental formation. So what we have now were all causes of the ignorance that we have done during our previous lives.
咱即摆这世人所受的这个果报，这个果是啥物呢？就是色、名色、六力，这个是在咱老母的这个子宫内底，咱还搁咧坐胎的时阵，所以过去嘛，这个无离夫讲，咱咧老母腹肚内，敢若亲像啥物呢？敢若亲像咧家路内底是足艰苦。这个嘛是，这个果报就是为在咧坐体的时阵，就有这个艰苦的这个果报。触，为出世到4、5岁，出世迄个时阵上艰苦。讲敢若啥物呢？敢若鱼，一尾鱼，你互放迄个鱼篮车共款，足艰苦。搁咧受，就为4、5岁到14、15岁这个中间，咱所有的拢是接受到啥物？接受到前世人的因所留落来，所以咱才有这个种种的这个感受啦，就是这欢喜的感受、快乐的感受、较苦的感受，这个受，这是决定的无法度通改，这前世人做来，这世人所得的这个果。
So karma suffered in the past life, consciousness, mind, and form, and the 6 sense organs. This all occurs while the baby is still in the womb of the mother. And next is contact. It is from the mother's womb to 4 to 5 years old. And this is the time when childbirth happens. And during this time, it is considered to be the most painful, because during childbirth, the pain that the baby feels is like the pain that a fish is feeling when its scales are being removed. So that is the same kind of pain felt by a baby during childbirth. Next is sensation. It is felt from 4 to 5 years old until 14 or 15 years old of age.
再来，咱这世人所做的因，就是因果的因，就是爱处有爱，就是为14岁了后呢，咱会晓咯，大人起来咯，这中间会晓分别什么好，什么歹，咱这个物件有爱的这个真强嘛。真强的这个欲望叫做爱，过来处，因为这个欲望真强，所以咱就会去行动，就会去种种的追求咱所要爱的物件，这个是因爱处，有就是有咯，因为咱处所以咱就有这个念头，这个念头呢，就是烦恼的根本。这个烦恼的根本呢，才做出了种种的这个业力，安尼呢，决定着咱 后摆啊会搁再来出世，这个叫做有。决定了后摆会来出世，这个叫做有。所以有呢，也就是咱业力的另外一个名啦。所以有也就是等于业的意思。
So a while ago, we were discussing about the karma suffered during this lifetime. These were the causes. These were the karma that we are suffering because of what we have done in our previous lives. Next is karma created during the present life. Love. These are different strong desires which grows after the age of 14. And claim. These are lust and all kinds of pursuits of desires. And the next is existence, or the existence of karma. It takes the trouble. It takes troubles because of love and desire, and it will do all kinds of bad deeds that will create the karma, which will again decide the future rebirth.
过来讲老死，迄个就是咧讲后世人咯，咱咧讲第三世就是为有开始，为开始就是讲会搁再来坐胎，坐胎了会搁再出世，出世了后就开始大汉，大汉就会老，老就会死，就讲老死，也就是讲后摆啊，即要搁来脱胎出生，后摆啊要搁再来坐胎，搁再来出世，一直到即出世了后，一直到老，一直到死，即个中间，为出世到老到死，即个中间呢，又搁因为咱无明开始，无明白，咱即个未晓则搁来造业，又搁再惹来，搁再后世人的即个苦果，所以咱安尼上简单讲起来，就是有三世人为无明行开始，前世人，即个中间识，过来，一直到爱六力触受，爱处有到老到死，迄个是一世人，搁再来呢，有到老死就是后世人，有是决定后世人要开始的，老死就是真正后世人。
So next, it's a while ago we have mentioned about the existence of karma. So during this period, it is already starting the third lifetime, because of this karma created, it will decide the future retribution, the retribution of the next lifetime. So the third lifetime starts at this point. And next is old age and death. It is to be born to the future life through a fetus. And as for old age and death, during this period, it has created karma because it is lost due to being deceived in regards to reality, and has recruited bitter fruit of retribution for the next lifetime. So this is already referring to the next lifetime, the third life.
这12因缘的流转，伊的规则，伊的原则，就是因为咱的佛性，光明的佛性起了就无明，所以由于无明，才引发着咱的行动，这个就是行。因为行，这个有识，识就是行产生的这个意识呢，落入去咱的第八意识内底，这个就是第八意识的识。因为有识，第八意识呢，才引起着明识，才引起着坐胎了后。灵就是这个心嘛，就是第八意识内底这个心，甲这个受精卵，这受精卵，甲这个合做，这无做咧讲身躯，因为六日还未产生嘛，眼恁皮色还未产生嘛，所以干来用讲做明识，明识，到搁再大， 搁再大起来咯，就生出了眼耳鼻舌身意，了后做六入，六入完整了后就出世，出世呢会拄着外口的出世都已经出世了，身躯都有身躯咧，已经都落土了再拄着尘色声香味触法，就产生着触，因为有了触，有接触，咱就是有快乐甲艰苦的感受，因为有快乐甲艰苦的感受，咱就产生着爱，看到物件水就要爱，爱呢的结果就是处，爱了就是处，处的结果了后呢，就是有，就是有。这个有呢，因为定定处，就是这个有。这个有呢，就是决定咱后世人一定会搁再来出世这个因。因为有这个有，就是有，就是决定会来出世这个呢，就是妈妈带身，这个有，如果造成了生老病死，这世人的生老病死，安尼呢？轮回啦，轮回未了，轮回不休，安尼定定咧轮流，定定咧转，做轮回不休。
The circulation cycle of these 12 links of dependent origination is the rule because Buddha nature is already covered up by ignorance. When there is ignorance, it will trigger intentional action. And then the intentional action will create the 8th consciousness. With the consciousness then causes our mind and form. The mind and form will regenerate the 6 senses or the 6 organs. But this time we cannot call it body and mind because the 6 senses are not yet fully developed during this period. So we call them for mind and form. And the 6 organs, when they are already developed, they will encounter with the 6 das or the 6 senses and will create touch or contact. When there is already contact, it will result in sensation or the feeling of happiness and sadness. Because of the existence of the feeling of happiness and sadness, it will develop desire or love and the want to claim what we love. So desire and claim will result then into the existence of karma. The existence will then result to birth, old age, sickness and death, and so on. And the cycle will repeat itself without ending.
12因缘呢，嘛做讲到这12缘觉，伊是佛教修行属着中性法，也做缘觉性，伊的这个修行的法门，修缘觉性，成为这个修道人呢，伊就是要对世间一切生灭的现象，伊就是要追求归根，要甲追求甲彻底，追求伊是安怎会发生，就是为生死，为生甲死，一直追求甲无明。
The 12th conditional consciousness is the practice method of the conditional consciousness vehicle in the middle vehicle. The practitioner of the elementary consciousness vehicle must investigate the causes of all the occurrence and death phenomena in this world. The investigation should start from life and death until ignorance.
缘觉性的修行人，伊就是要洞察世间一切，伊就是要非常的清楚世间一切拢是为无明而来，所以呢，伊照法度灭了的12因缘。
The cultivator of the conditional awakening can only destroy the 12 conditions when he perceives that everything in this world comes from ignorance.
也就是讲，咱无明若灭咯，咱就袂去行动。行动若无咯，就无即个识，就无即个意识条例，无即个条例第八识嘅即个第八识嘅即个识若灭咯，安尼明识就灭咯，就是讲袂过再来带心咯，袂过再来带心就无迄个心，甲迄个受精卵就无咯。即个明色就是即个就是咱的心甲个受精卵，这明性若灭咯，咱六力就灭，无受精卵，所以就袂过再大长起来，搁再产生着眼耳鼻心咯，无即个眼耳鼻心，即个若无咯，咱就袂去接受嘛，咱若袂去接受，咱就无感受，咱若无感受着，咱就袂去处，袂去爱，袂去处，若无去爱，无去处呢，就是有灭咯，有就是讲要来，搁再来带心，搁再来慢慢带心，即个叫做有，这有若灭落去，咱就袂搁再来出世，就生就灭，生若灭咯，无搁再来出世，安尼了，老死忧悲苦咯，就拢总无咯。
A practitioner, so when we know that everything begins with ignorance, let us discuss about this, that when ignorance is extinguished, intentional action will also be extinguished. When intentional action is extinguished, consciousness will then disappear. When consciousness is extinguished, mind and form will then also be extinguished. When mind and form is extinguished, the six senses will also be extinguished. When the six senses are extinguished, the sense of contact will not happen. When the sense of contact do not happen, there will be no sensation or feeling. When sensation or feeling disappears, there will no longer be the existence of love or desire.
但是呢，咱要
讲是阿伯，怪不得说阿伯掉嘞。
好 ，OK，
and when love and desire is no longer existent, claim and attachment will no longer exist. When attachment is extinguished, existence of karma will not exist also. When existence of karma is extinguished, there will be no more birth. Without birth, there will be no more old age, death, worry, sadness, and desire, and distress, and so on. So in short, in this order, the prior situation is the condition for the arising of the next situation. Also in the same order, if the prior condition is extinguished, the next condition will also be extinguished.
但是咱要安怎来这个消灭这个无明呢？无明是12因缘的头一个嘛，所以这个12因缘法讲起来是真简单啦，听起来嘛敢听有无？但是要安怎做呢？确实真困难。
So how can we eliminate ignorance? Since ignorance is the first of the 12 links of dependent origination, it is very easy to discuss about it, and it sounds very understandable, but it is quite difficult to achieve.
无明的道理，咱只有大家一点注意啦，拢听有啦。但是听有是听有咯，会贪心也是会贪心，会去爱处嘛是会去爱甲处，生死有缘也是生死，一点都无法度改变这个三世因果、三世的这个因缘。
The truth of ignorance can be understood by anyone who has even little education. But although it is said to have been understood, a greedy man still remains to be greedy. The attached will still experience desire and attachment. Life and death will still happen. and it cannot change a bit of the causes and conditions of the three realms at all.
咱即摆来讲一个唐朝的故事，来解释即个无明吼。唐朝呢有一个大神做大官吼，伊的名号做于朝恩。伊平常时呢真勤真勤咧学佛法。有一天呢，伊去请教着迄个时阵的国师，做会中国师。伊就问国师讲：请问什么叫做无明？佛法讲无始无明，安尼呢？无明伊到底是什么时阵会发生会开始？
So let us have a story to help us further understand about ignorance. In Tang Dynasty, there was a eunuch named Yu Chao-en who regularly studies the Buddha Dharma very diligently. One day, he went to Huizong Master and asked him, "What is ignorance?" Buddha Dharma says that ignorance has no beginning. So when does ignorance really begin?
会中国师就讲：亲像你这款这么粗俗的人，也想要知影会晓要来问佛法。
And the master answered him in a laughing way that even a vulgar person like you will come to ask about the Dharma?
于朝恩听到这句话了就去甲不跳，面拢红起来了，开始就要骂这个国师，但是这个国师呢，马上甲伊中止，中止伊无爱互伊讲话就对啦伊讲，你的无明起来咯，本来是起甲面红光光的人呢，听到国师这句话呢，突然间就讲，安尼何做无明雄才了解起来，所以呢，伊就生气变为欢喜。这个时阵呢，国师看伊安尼笑起来就讲：你的无明灭咯。于朝恩伊真感恩国师对伊的教示，伊是安尼来咧教，讲什么叫做无明。这是咱这个故事是互咱上第一了解、上第一容易了解的这个叫做无明体。其他也阁有真多这个咱所迷翕的这个行为，拢叫做无明。所以呢，有法度通消灭无明呢，就伊的成果叫做必之佛，就是讲后摆免搁再来人间出世。
So Yu Chao-en felt really insulted by what the master has said to him. So he was so furious. He was flushed with anger, and he started to scold the Huizong master. But Huizong stopped him and said to him, "Your ignorance is now showing up." So after hearing these words, Yu Chao-en, who was at first flushing with anger, suddenly realized the meaning and the truth about ignorance. So he opened his mind and turned his anger into joy. At this time, the teacher said to him again, "So you see, now you have gotten rid of your ignorance." So Yu Chao-en was grateful for the master's teaching. This is the easiest way for us to understand about ignorance. And there are other deceitful behaviors, all of which are also considered as ignorance. It is the fire of ignorance that we cannot know how to stop. And if we only can eliminate ignorance, we will be able to achieve the same as the Pratya Buddha, and we do not need to come back to this world again for rebirth in the future life.
所以，咱要安怎来破除这个无明呢？咱只有是咱名师所传的见性的法门，也都是点老师来咱里面的点一点，为名师一指，甲显观这个窍，显观一窍，为这个所在来悟， 吼，我有路吼，咱有安尼有法度保持着咱本来清净光明的本性，毋通阁互伊污染，吼，会当恢复咱本自具足的良知良能。
So how can we break ignorance? The only way for us to break ignorance is to go directly to the place or to the point where we were being initiated by our Tianchuansi or Patriarch during the transcendence of the cycle of birth and death to find one's true self. We can be awakened through this mystical gate and maintain its purity, glorious and free, that is free from pollution, and restoring our true self that equipped with innate intelligence and ability, instinct.
咱今仔日就甲大家研究到遮吼，感谢天尊师弟，感谢点灯师助我学学这个了解的机会，感谢各位精灵大德的聆听，祝健康快乐，万事如意。咱后一摆空中再见。
So our discussion of the part 4 of the Heart Sutra will be up to here. Thank you to Heaven's Grace and to Teacher's Virtue. Thank you to our Tianchuansi for giving me this chance to fulfill my vow. And thank you everybody for being here tonight and listening to our lecture. May everybody be healthy and happy, and may everything that we wish for will all come true. Let us all meet again next time in the air.
各位大家好，暗暝。
Good evening, everybody.
咱今仔真正感恩陈老师甲咱讲这个心经讲啊认清楚，对这个六根六识六尘18界12因缘法，咱讲了非常非常的清楚。
So we want to thank our Chen Jiangsi for having a very good discussion that is talks about the 6 roots, the 6 senses, the 18 realms of senses, and the 12 links of interdependent origins.
那么咱后一节课了，对迄个五苦集灭道开始。
So next week we will start with from the part of Wu Ku Ji Mie Dao.
这个心经咱若真正听咧，对咱的迄个帮助非常的大。
So if we can go sit down and listen to the discussion of Heart Sutra, we will really gain many things.
后下真正欢喜讲有这个机会甲大家做伙来向陈讲师学习这个心经的意义。
Since discussing and understanding about the Heart Sutra will help us in many ways, we are very thankful that we have this chance to sit down together and to listen to the discussion of our Chen Jiangsi.
下摆咱来读心经的时阵咱就知道讲到底心经在讲什么。
So during our sutra class, when we reach the part when we are starting to learn to recite about the Heart Sutra, we will already understand what we are reciting about.
那么今天感恩各位点传师、各位助理、各位精灵大德慈悲。
So thank you to all the masters and to everybody here and to all the 助理 for being here tonight.
大家共同把这个班好聚好势，好道场好迄个道心，好道亲袂去散去。
So let us help one another to continue with our lectures every Friday so that our hearts will not go out of our minds.
祝各位道亲大家身体健康，事事如意。
So wish everybody a healthy body and that everything that we wish for will all be granted.
安尼咱就安尼结伴。